All right, guys, here's your set of practice problems for your quiz tomorrow, Thursday, to finish up linear equations. Random fact: in Switzerland, it is illegal to own just one guinea pig because guinea pigs are social animals. Wow, they really care about their guinea pigs. All right. Here's your first set of problems. Write the equation given 2 points from that line. Pause it, do your work, and unpause it and see if you're right. All right, we're back. Here we go. I'm subtracting my y values on top. Subtracting my x values on bottom. Notice there on the bottom, minus the negative. Make sure you had that and you didn't trip up on that. And now we've got 5 minus 11, negative 6. The two negatives cancel, 0 plus 2, 2. Negative 6 on 2 simplifies to become negative 3. And I'm writing too big. That's my slope, but I'm not done yet. I need more room. Or do I? Let's look at our original problem. Maybe I don't have to do any more work. If I look at my first point, I was given 0 for the x value, which tells me that the 5 is actually the y-intercept of that equation. I don't go left or right if I was going to plot that point. I just go straight up the y-axis to the number 5. So there's my intercept, which means I can just take this and use it. That 5 is the b. Remember, b, your intercept is 5, and so there's my equation. Y equals mx plus b, my slope, negative 3, my b, 5, and there you go. All right, second one, same idea. Subtract x and y, or excuse me, subtract your two y's, then get to subtracting your x's. Okay, this is an example of bad guys and bad guys. We can see it as addition of those two, negative 8, negative 1 and negative 1. Same thing on bottom as negative 2. Pairs of negatives cancel, and 8 over 2 is actually 4. So there's my slope. Now we'll look up at our two original points. There is no 0x value, which means I have to calculate. I'll start by plugging in my slope. I've got that, that's 4. And I don't know what the b is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So now I'm going to plug in the x and the y value from one of my 2 points. I'm going to pick the second point simply because it's got no negatives. Makes my life easier. So the y value is 3. The x value is 1. And now I just finish solving for b. 4 times 1 is 4. And with that, I can see that my b, my y-intercept, is negative 1. But remember, we're not finished yet. We've got to fill it into that final equation. So my b, negative 1. My slope m is 4. And there you go. All right. What is the domain and range for those two graphs? And I'm going to move that because it might be hard to see. The second one is that graph's down at the bottom there. All right, go. All right, we're back. We'll call that one graph A and that one graph B. So the domain for this guy, remember, is your x values. He's going to continue up and out in both directions. So his domain, as far as the x values, is all real numbers. Or you could have said negative to positive infinity. His range is that he starts right at 3. He doesn't go below that. This entire graph is above the number 3 on the y-axis. So it's going to be from 3 up to positive infinity. So it starts at 3 and goes from there up forever, but it starts at 3. All right, second graph, his domain. Same idea as the first one. It's heading outward in both directions forever. All real numbers. His range, well, we can see there's only one y value that this graph exists on, and it's exactly at -3. There you go. All right. Rewrite these two equations into slope-intercept form. You know the drill. Go. All right, we're back. Remember, slope-intercept means you're going to have y by itself, everything on the other side. So in a sense, it's kind of like solving a two-step. I'm going to start by moving over that whole 11x term. I'm going to put it to the side of the -18 because they don't combine. They're not like terms. I'm just showing that it gets moved over there. I'm going to rewrite it, and I'm halfway home. Now I've got that y term by itself, except I've got to get rid of that -9. And make sure you do it twice on both of these guys. Lots of pairs of negatives to cancel. 18 over 9, that's just going to be 2. And then 11 over 9. And there you go, slope-intercept form. Remember, the y can be on the left or the right, so if it makes you happy, feel free to put the y on the other side. It looks more traditionally like you'd expect to see it. Doesn't matter. It's slope-intercept either way. All right, problem number 2. Y is over here this time, so now what we need to get rid of is that 14. So we'll minus that 14 over. Now we've got this -7y by itself. 8x minus 14, and now we want the y to get rid of its coefficient. Divide off that -7. Do that on both terms. So we see our slope is going to be just a -8/7. Pair of negatives cancel. That becomes 2. And there you go. Rewritten into slope-intercept form. Solved for y. All right. All right, last one. What is the slope and equation of each of those two lines? Go. All right, if you're back, just filling this in real quick. Let's see how you did. Okay, line A, it's going vertically. So remember, if it's going vertically, slope gets steeper and steeper and steeper until it gets all the way up to infinity. It gets infinity steep eventually. We know that is undefined. His equation, he's crossing the x-axis, and he's crossing them at 2. All right, equation B, it's the opposite for slope. It's getting flatter and flatter and flatter until it gets to the smallest, flattest possible value, which is 0. His equation is that he's crossing the y-axis at -4. All right, guys, that's literally exactly what's on the quiz tomorrow. So if you aced all this, you're good to go. Peace.